unnamed gorilla leader.
Yes.
And he said the Forbidden Zone has been closed for century, and rightly so. So we can't go there.
Why rightly so, though?
I don't know. Because of Scripture. Because of what the lawgiver and what Zeus has told them. It's been closed off.
Right.
But we now have evidence that a vast, barren area is now inhabited.
Again, so if it was forbidden and now it's inhabited, why was it forbidden? Because it seems like it's a great place to live.
What is their evidence? We now have evidence that a vast, barren area is now inhabited. They just said they killed all the humans, except for the ones they're willing to give to Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't say that. That was in the script part of the script that wasn't there. But they just said Zeus will have humans if you want that are alive. By whom or by what we do not know, but if they live, and live they do, then they must eat. We must replenish the land that was ravaged by humans.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of assumptions in all those sentences.
But going back to my point from earlier, they're derivative of what Zeus has been saying all along.
His scripture.
Yeah.
I mean, his scripture specifically said it was a forbidden zone that was once habitable by humans. So now we're actually moving past the veil of it was something only contained by religious leaders.
Right.
That the populace of Gorilla City knows that the Forbidden Zone was once controlled by humans.
Right.
Right? I mean, is that what's being said?
Or at least
this guerrilla leader is now telling us the land was once ravaged by humans. Mutant humans, whatever. He's letting us know that humans once had that area and they ruined that area. Whether he knows of evolution and what happened in terms of the society and culture, he's at least acknowledging that humans had a past that was devastating to what gorillas want to see happen.
So if we look back at the map that they showed us when Taylor first got there, when we saw someone had posted that it really was a map of Manhattan
New York or whatever,
something like that. Is Albuquerque the Brooklyn Zoo and everything else is Manhattan when you start thinking of that, the Forbidden Zone?
I don't know.
That'd be really cool.
I start thinking, okay, the apes are in this centralized area and all this was theirs that the humans somehow destroyed, and it was a garden. It was basically a Garden of Eden kind of thing. And then you start thinking Central Park, and you got all these vast open areas that are beautiful. They used to inhabit it.
That would explain their structures.
Yeah.
Because their structures look like they belong in a zoo, not in
that's just very strange for me.
I realize that'll never be explained in the films, but I just started thinking, Jesus, that they're thinking while they're doing this is that these apes derived from that area once all this occurred. Anyway.
So we move to this moment where the Forbidden Zone has been closed for centuries, and rightly so. So Ursus' unnamed gorilla leader.
Make sure to bleep that part out.
Uh-huh.
Is talking about what religion has told him in terms of the Forbidden Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And he moves into, we must replenish the land that was ravaged by humans. Now, part of the script talked about humans ravaging their lands, and they've eradicated humans. What is this evidence of a vast, barren area that is now inhabited by whom and by what we do not know? This is really an unusual setup for what Sean has not seen that just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, no, you don't.
No.
And luckily, this is a very short movie, so you'll find out very quickly.
Find out in about 2 months.
I'm left to wonder again with our unnamed gorilla person, how interesting of a film. So we've taken away the lead of our film. We've taken Charlton Heston away, and we've put the version light in there.
Right.
And you want to expand on this world. Really, why didn't they take unnamed gorilla guy and make him then how many movies have you seen this where he gives a grand speech, but then we see him again and again giving the same speech, but in different settings, and he's like rabble rousing the entire.
starting to build people up from it's daytime over here, it's a night rally over here. He's talking in somebody's kitchen over here. He's in a stadium somewhere else.
You could have built this world, and you could have even expanded upon the motivations for what happens at the end of the film if you work them into a fever pitch. Of maybe he busts in on a religious ceremony and he does the same thing and he takes these words and distorts religion.
Or he's at a funeral from somebody who's killed by a human and he can't take it anymore. He's got to get up there and speak about it.
I mean, obviously you don't want to say the same things, but you begin to see, you understand what he's doing is he's exploiting every fear that they have to essentially begin war is kind of where you know he wants to lead this.
A war against nothing we've noticed or seen or
against
anything.
A bunch
it's
of stupid,
random,
really not intelligent humans.
Right.
But, I mean, if you're watching this film and you get to this particular moment, minute 19, minute 20, who's the star of the film?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, too. Because at this point, the most interesting person is this guy.
Yeah, this is the most interesting person in the movie.
Ago,
yeah. I mean, actually, I'm kind of more sympathetic to Nova, like, based upon having seen some Taylor and seen some Brent, and Zayas is back in the mix, and this guy kind of commanding what's going on.
Right.
I almost feel like Nova's the star of the film.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the innocent, and just on these minutes alone, I feel like she's the innocent that we're going to see overcome at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Who's going to triumph? Yeah.
And he's the villain. She's the innocent. He's the villain. It's a Disney film.
I get why 20th Century Fox went in and said, you have to find somebody to take Charlton Heston's place. You know what? Find somebody that looks just like him. I get that.
Sure.
How much more interesting of a film would it have been if they simply didn't have... Why do we have to have another astronaut? Could you not... How interesting would it have been if Nova was our star? And he's already sent her to find Zira.
Right.
We don't need Brent there for anything. Maybe she's the vessel that takes us.
Point.
Right. I mean, you could make her the main character of the film, and that might actually be interesting as she tried to communicate,
learn more,
to
become
learn.
Smarter.
That might have been an interesting film.
Well,
I don't know.
We can't talk about it, but yeah, at this point, she and unnamed guerrilla leader feel like the focus.
The yin and the yang to this exact moment.
Yeah.
You know, the innocence to the aggression.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out as the weeks go on, I guess.
But as Richard promised, we had a Friday that actually was rather invigorating.
Yes, we talked about the Friday curse, and actually this Friday minute was actually pretty good.
We actually had explosive speeches.
We talked about the Forbidden Zone.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about something mysterious happening at the Forbidden Zone.
Right.
We had Zira just standing up for herself and clapping a really long time.
Yep.
Damn it.
Crazy imposter Cornelius.
There you go.
I mean, what a frickin' Friday.
Yeah.
We broke
Awesome.
the curse. Yay.
All right. Well, we will put Friday in the books, and we'll be back on Monday to keep going. Until then, find us. Let us hear from you. Have a great weekend. We hope you're enjoying the show. Let your friends know about us. Follow us on your favorite podcast service. Tell your friends to do the same. For Minute of the Apes, I'm Todd, Richard, and Sean. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes.
The only good human is a dead human.